Previously on Power Reviews.
You're super secret agent man, and Kay's a dimension-hopping super genius, and DB is a Power Ranger. Now, what does that make me? I just finished working on the Squee 3PO.
They took Mayo. I'm going to bring her back.
The transdimensional tear from the hallway.
Wireless interdimensional interface.
Voice print acknowledged.
I know Kay fudged my medical records, so I don't have to go back into work. And she took care of that other stuff.
We are T Omega. Nothing can stop it.
Look out!
Initiating recall procedure now.
Does anybody want to talk about what just happened to us?
Okay. And now, Database Rangers Power Review.
Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to Mayo.
Okay?
Okay. We look forward to
seeing you again.
Bye, everyone.
Finally. I thought they'd never leave.
Do you think it's wise to just let them go?
Don't worry. I'm already tracking them on the latest version of the Squee.
You built another one?
Yeah, but I still haven't decided whether I want to call it the Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eyeline Mark IV Millennium Edition or the Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eyeline Mark IV Ultimate.
Squee for me or squee for you?
Exactly. Now, does anyone want to clue me in on what just happened? Who was that guy we hit?
T Omega. He used to be two people.
Come again?
T Alpha and T Beta. They're back.
Wait, you mean those creeps that kidnapped me? I thought they got sucked through that transdimensional tear thing.
They did. Kay, any theories?
It's hard to say. The readings from this T Omega entity were all over the map. Whatever allowed them to return, the process was highly unstable, likely due in part to Alphabet Soup's experimentation with the transdimensional tears.
Well, they did sort of keep phasing in and out, especially whenever they separated.
That would make sense. If it was an imperfect cross-dimensional transition, then the superposition of their waveforms could help anchor them to this reality, especially if they don't have a wireless interdimensional interface to act as a tether.
So when we separated them with a car, does that mean they slingshotted back to wherever it is they came from?
It would appear so.
Let's just hope they stay there this time.
Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a night then, unless there's any more super agents or super soup agents or bad guys out there I have to worry about.
I think you're safe.
Okay then, I'll see you guys in the morning. I just hope I can get some sleep. Hello?
I need you here. Now.
Dr. K? What is it?
Can you please move quickly?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
What do you need a portal device for?
Ah, there you are.
Kay, talk to me.
What's going on?
Put your thumb here.
Okay.
Biorhythm marker verified.
Perfect.
Kay, what do you need a portal for?
Wait, what are we doing with portals?
All of you need to stop asking so many questions. I know what I'm doing. Now hold still.
Why?
Do you want to be safe from people like T Omega? Then follow my instructions.
Kay, you're scaring me right now.
Now open that door.
Let's just hold on a minute. Guy, could you help me out here?
Hi.
I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing.
It's too dangerous. Look out!
Okay. I wasn't planning on LARPing this weekend, but... Wait! Yes! You! Stay right there!
I apologize, sorceress. I meant no offense.
Sorceress? Do I look like a sorceress to you?
You created a hole in the sky. What else could do this but the most powerful magics?
I'm pretty sure it was more of a transdimensional quantum event triggered by an advanced propagation of... You know what? Let's just go with magic.
And very powerful magic indeed to bring you to Sumerian forest.
Sumerian Forest? Let me just Google Maps that real quick.
Oh, my.
Don't worry, it's just my mystical spell book. Huh. Can't seem to find any Wi-Fi out here. My locator spell isn't working.
I understand that magic is very difficult to perform in the boundaries of these woods. Perhaps I might serve as a guide?
Actually, that would be really helpful. If you could just lead me to the nearest, village, that would be great.
I am at your service, Lady Sorceress.
Oh, and you could call me Mayo, by the way.
Very well, Mistress Mayo. I am called Quandary the Bard.
Bard, huh? I used to roll as a bard all the time.
Roll?
Never mind.
Well, I'm really more of a bard in training. I still have a lot left to learn. May I entertain you with a tale while we travel?
Sure, go ahead. I'm always up for a good story.
I shall endeavor not to disappoint. Allow me to spin you the tale of the sixth legend of the Power Rangers Mystic Force. Legendary Catastros. Decades ago, in the mystical forest of Briarwood, a battle raged between good and evil. After 19 years of peace, new heroes were chosen to rise up against the dark forces of the underworld as the Power Rangers Mystic Force. Noble Nick, the Red Ranger and Light Against the Darkness. Valiant Vida, Pink Ranger and skilled jockey of discs. Proud Xander, Green Ranger of the land down under. Mildly underutilized Madison, kindly Blue Ranger. Candid Chip, Yellow Ranger and aspiring Knight of Good. Aided by the sorceress Udonna, her apprentice Claire, their employer Toby, and the Troblin Phineas. They battled Korag, the Nightwolf, and Necroli, the Vampire Queen, charging into combat, soaring through the sky on broomsticks and dragons, harnessing the power of their elements, summoning needlessly large explosions, and transforming into the great mystic titans to vanquish their foes with their swishy capes and mystical spell seals of wonder.
Just out of curiosity, how did you get hip-hop synth music out of a lyre?
I know not of what you speak. It was a dark and stormy night in Rootcore, the tremendous tree that Udonna called home, and where she relayed to the mystic force the tale of the beast stallion Catastros.
Wait, are you telling me the story of how someone told someone else a story?
I'm still in training. Catastros had the strength of 100 men and could not be tamed. But during the great battle of good and evil he fled, and was captured by the dark forces. The Candid Chip exclaimed,
"That was the scariest story I have ever heard. Tell it again."
You do realize that telling me someone else found the story scary doesn't actually make it scary, right?
What if I were to tell you that even the barest flicker of darkness and lightning sent the proud Xander leaping into the valiant Vita's arms?
The Scooby-Doo antics aren't doing it either.
I know not what that means. Udonna's apprentice Claire soon joined them, having crossed a hot cocoa spell with the spell of protection to keep herself warm on this cold and stormy night. Tragically, she had forgotten to exclude the toppings, and was cursed by her allergy to whipped cream.
Gesundheit.
To rescue her from her creamy predicament, she taught Nick the spell Venetio, promptly returning her to normal. But trouble was brewing down in the underworld. The brute Morticon demanded that Korag, the honorable Nightwolf, turn over the Rangers' Megazord combining power, which had been stolen from them in a previous battle.
Wait, how do you steal combining power? I mean, if all the pieces still fit together, shouldn't you still be able to form the Megazord?
I have not the answer to that. But I do know that Korag deceived Morticon, denying possession of the power, while secretly keeping it for his own purposes.
I thought you said he was honorable.
He was.
He doesn't sound very honorable.
We all have our off days. But Necroli, the Vampire Queen, had witnessed this deception and warned the powerful Morticon, who demanded that the Nightwolf be punished with a mystical crossbow. That night, Nick had a most terrible dream in which his mechanized two-wheeled cart turned into the Beast Stallion, flinging him to his doom.
So he was spooked by a nightmare of his motorcycle turning into a horse.
Verily. Though he tried to deny this the next day when he met his fellow Chosen Ones at their place of business, insisting he was without fear. But soon they were all summoned away by a call to action. Korag and Catastros had arrived as tremendous giants, combining to form the Centaurus Wolf Megazord. And so the five heroes mightily morphed into the Power Rangers Mystic Force, and used their powers to become the five Mystic Titans. The Minotaur, Mermaid, Garuda, and Sprite combining into the Mystic Dragon formation, mounted by Nick's Mystic Phoenix.
I thought you said they couldn't combine.
Into a Megazord, no. But a dragon is another beast altogether.
Much simpler.
Sadly, the Mystic Dragon was no match for their powerful foe, and Korag quickly struck them down, breaking them apart once more. Their fate seemed sealed, but it was just this moment that Necroli fired her wicked crossbow upon the powerful warrior, forcing a retreat.
Wait, so you're saying these villains are so backbiting that they would actually rather punish each other than defeat the Rangers?
So great is the treachery of evil that it even defeats itself.
Wow. That is both incredibly convenient and extremely contrived. Carry on.
Cass the warrior. Determined not to let his foe escape, the Red Mystic Ranger leapt to intervene, corrupting the spell seal and splitting Catastros from its master. And so Nick and the Beast Stallion were dragged through the seal into another world.
Hang on. The hero of this story gets trapped in another world?
Why, yes, Mistress Mayo. I thought you would appreciate the parallels to your own predicament.
Good call, Quandary. Tell me what happens next.
As you wish. Having reverted to his human form, the noble Nick surveyed his surroundings, finding himself on a beach the color of snickleberries.
Snickleberries?
Purple. He attempted to call his friends, but to no avail.
Great. No service for him either.
Suddenly, he heard a loud whinny behind his back. He prayed.
I hope that's just an oversized pelican.
It wasn't a pelican, was it?
You are most savvy, mistress. For it was indeed the Beast Stallion Catastros. As he fled across indigo grass under a muted sky, his friends returned to Rootcore to seek the aid of their trusted mentor, Udana. But without the knowledge of Nick's new locality, there was nothing that she or her crystal ball could do to send them there.
Figures.
Knowing not what else to do, the four young wizards wandered the mystic forest, mourning the loss of their friend and leader, when suddenly they were joined by an unexpected guest.
Drumroll, please.
Announced the creature.
I'm Phineas.
He had overheard their laments over Nick's dilemma, and being a poor beleaguered Troblin that the Red Ranger had saved on a previous adventure, insisted on finding a way to help. And although he had no magic, his words stirred up hope in the Mystic Rangers.
So, your moping around here with the long faces is actually helping Nick. Yeah, I get things wrong sometimes.
Please note, his words were effective, not eloquent.
Thanks, Phineas. You really put things in perspective.
Expressed the mildly underutilized Madison, and she and her friends returned to Rootcore to renew their efforts, poring over Udana's many spellbooks in hopes of somehow regaining their lost leader.
Now let's skip ahead for a minute. Are any of these spellbooks actually useful?
Well, I'm not one who usually spoils my own story, but...
Spoil away.
Very well. During their research, the valiant Vita uncovered the secret to the noble Nick's return.
A spell of transport is a one-way deal, unless a source can reverse the seal.
All right then, so good old-fashioned Doctor Who style reverse of polarity.
We're talking about who now?
Exactly, but I don't have the device with me. And the only other piece of technology in the area appears to be the R2-Squee2. Did the Rangers come up with anything else on interdimensional travel?
None that I am aware of, mistress.
Well, what about those spellbooks of theirs? Any chance I could take a peek at their library?
Doubtful. Not only is Rootcore a great distance from here, but many of their volumes were destroyed on the day of their last great battle. It is likely the remainder are under close watch.
Great. I don't suppose you guys have a local library then?
Very few of the great libraries still exist. Although I suppose the closest would be the Sumerian Temple.
Perfect. Let's go there then.
I'm afraid it would do no good. It is the temple that prevents magic from existing within this forest, and no spellcaster has entered its doors in 1,000 years.
Still sounds like it's probably our best lead. How far is it?
From here, about a half a league towards the setting sun.
It doesn't sound too bad. Let's say we take a look, just to be on the safe side.
As you wish, Mistress Mayo. The journey should give us just enough time to finish my tale.
Then lead on, Macduff. Let's keep going.
Ah, yes. Now, if I recall correctly, the Mystic Rangers had just surmised that the key to finding the noble Nick lay in reversing the words of Korag's spell. But according to the candid Chip...
It was something like fettuccine alfredo.
So it was likely to be a while.
Delicious.
Meanwhile, in the mysterious indigo forest, the dread Catastros had finally cornered the helpless Red Ranger. But suddenly, the Beast Stallion fell to its side, succumbing to the mystical injury from Necroli's dark arrow. For a moment, Nick seized upon the opportunity to flee, but his conscience soon halted his retreat. Readying his mind, he returned to the creature and took out his mystic morpher, remembering Clara's spell from earlier.
Benicio!
You tried to make the horse disappear?
No. The wound.
Wouldn't that just take a chunk out of the horse?
'Tis magic. It need not be explained. But no matter how he tried, the wound remained. Meanwhile, Korag had returned to the underworld, and with some goading from Necroli, dueled against his rival Mordecon until their great and terrible master bellowed from the pit, forcing them to set their differences aside. But Korag still refused to yield the Megazord combining power, having already passed it on to a fearsome troll that then summoned the Rangers back to battle.
Why would he hand over Megazord combining power to a single monster? What could he possibly do with it?
Grow to great heights.
Can't all monsters do that anyway?
Magic.
Speaking of which, in the Indigo Forest, after yet another futile attempt to heal Catastros, the noble Nick finally relinquished his fear of the helpless creature. And in that moment, the magic within him was unlocked, and he was able to restore the great beast stallion to its former glory. In gratitude, the steed offered its back to the Red Ranger, and together they rode off in search of a way home. Unbeknownst to them, however, his friends were embroiled in a great titan battle with the monster, where the candid Chip experienced a sudden recollection.
I remember the spell. It was Basilici and Fredo.
So, say it backwards.
Oh, Durfni e Chili Sab?
Wow, that is some impressive phonetic mastery there.
And so, as the Red Ranger and Catastros galloped across the beach where they first arrived, the seal was reopened, and they returned home in their tremendous titan forms.
You know, if I hadn't been on the rescuing end of one of those interdimensional portals myself, I would call that timing out as suspiciously convenient.
But as it stands,
I'll let it pass.
Very good. Upon their return, the two merged their powers together, transforming into the magnificent Centaurus Phoenix Megazord, using its flaming lance to do battle with the fearsome golem.
I thought you said it was a troll.
that was before it grew.
Huh, silly me.
And so, the great red Megazord defeated the golem with its flaming Mohawk attack.
It set its head on fire?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
But regrettably, their alliance was a short one. For once the Megazord combining power had been restored to the Mystic Titans, Catastros bucked off its new rider and returned to its old master.
Oof, cold.
Here. You may make use of my cloak.
Oh no, I didn't, thank you.
I don't know how you were able to combine with my mighty Catastros, but I promise you I will find out.
Quoth Korag.
Something about you is troubling.
Ooh, sounds like some serious foreshadowing there.
Nick is Korag's son.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a spoiler.
It's obvious from early on.
And with Day saved, Udana recounted to the now-returned Nick of how his friends had worked to save him, and gently reminded him that he would still have many adventures left in his future.
And that is the end of our tale. So, what did you think of it?
Well, it was fine.
Really?
Well, it was a little bit contrived, like how Nick was able to use a vanishing spell to heal Catastros, or how Chip was able to remember the spell and how to say it backwards at just the right moment for Catastros and Nick to ride through and save the day.
As I live and breathe, that is how it transpired.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I also wish I could have learned a little bit more about the other characters. They seem to have some wacky fun hijinks going on, but I totally get that this was a Red Ranger focused story.
Verily. Very few of their legends are not.
Fair enough. I guess the producers have to stand by their marketing department.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind. Overall, despite the contrived bits, it was a nice little search and rescue alternate dimensions story about facing your fears, about not giving up, about turning enemies into allies and getting a shiny new toy to fight the bad guys with. So, good job, Quandary.
Thank you, Mistress Mayo. I am humbled by your kind words, and I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived.
Wow, that is some temple. Let's go in.
But I told you, Mistress. No one has entered the temple in 1,000 years. Not even the greatest wizards have been able to decipher those ancient runes.
Yeah, well, I bet those wizards didn't have one of these.
Your spell book? What good can that do here?
You know, in my world, there are people who dedicate their entire lives to deciphering codes and uncovering secrets. And I don't like to advertise this to people, but I'm one of the best there is. Melone. Aloha Mora. Please? Just have to know the magic word. Come on, let's go in. Let's see if this thing is my ticket out of here. Alright, we'll start the scan at the table of contents.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop you there, Mistress. I have waited for centuries for someone to unlock that door and restore my magics, and for that I am most grateful. But I am not about to allow some young whelp to swoop in and take my prize. That was a warning shot. Leave now, and we shall have no further trouble.
Where am I supposed to go? That book might be my only way home!
You seem to be under the mistaken impression that I care. Now be off with you. What? What did you do? Come back here!
A silp, a romahola, nolem.
No!
I just wanted to go home. What on earth? A spell of transport. Okay.